Well, everyone, the iPhone 12 mini has been out for a little bit of time now, for a couple of years, and I wanted to go ahead and kind of talk about how this thing holds up in the later part of 2023. There's a couple of things that have changed with this specific phone throughout the last year or so, but especially even the last 3, 4, 5, 6 months, there's been a lot of changes with this device too. So I'll go and hit on as many of things that I can. The big thing to keep in mind is that Apple is no longer selling this iPhone brand new anymore. So that was a big thing. I think that came late last year, but still, basically Apple's no longer selling this thing brand new. Your only availability of this thing is in the used market or certified refurbished market if it's available there. On top of that, iOS 17 came out and our new iPhones came out as well. Body-wise, this iPhone is still pretty much exactly the same though. Nothing has really changed with the body of the specific device, which is not, I'm not complaining about it. You're still getting that beautiful display on the front and a smaller form factor, which is really nice to see. On top of that, you're still getting the notch, and it's still a very good looking display. It still looks very, very good for the most part. You're getting the lightning port at the bottom, complete flat sides across the board, and you're getting that glass back with the dual camera setup. This kind of stuff is very, very cool, and I think that in and of itself is a very cool thing within this specific device. I think you're getting very good build quality, and I think you're getting a very good phone in a very small form factor, which I think is a very cool thing. Now, that's for everything that stayed the same. Everything else has pretty much changed with this phone. So like I said, Apple's no longer selling this thing brand new. They're also not selling the iPhone 11 brand new anymore. But the big thing is with iOS 17. I have installed iOS 17 since the first beta in June, and I will tell you the 12 mini is holding up very well on iOS 17, even though we're on 17.2 beta right now. I think for the most part, this is a very decent version of software. This is a very good device on this version of software, which is very, very cool. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But I think for the most part, if you're wanting a device that's going to be holding up very well from a software standpoint, it's going to be good. There's still bugs and issues. But the thing I love about the iPhone 12 mini is that even though it's a smaller form factor phone, Apple pretty much gave us all the features that were on iOS 17 on the iPhone 12s, including the 12 mini. So if you wanted to, you could actually go ahead and basically buy this type of device and still almost get all the features within iOS 17 in this specific device, which is so cool. That's something I love seeing, and that in and of itself is going to be a really, really cool thing that we're going to kind of be able to look at with this type of device. So once again, that in and of itself is a very cool thing. Now on top of that, with the iPhone 12 mini, this is also a device that's basically going to be, I would still say for the most part, still very good in a lot of different ways. But I think the big thing here with the iPhone 12 mini is that this device, it doesn't hold up insanely well against the iPhone 15 because they're kind of completely different phones now. But I do like how the mini is so much smaller and it holds up good for a small phone. For how small this phone is, I think Apple did a good job at giving it all the power and everything that the 12 had. So I think from a performance standpoint and just from a software capability standpoint in general, the iPhone 12 mini I think holds up well, overall good, overall well, compared against the iPhone 15s. Now, of course, if you want the better phone, the 12 Pro, 13 Pro, 14 Pro, the Pro models are definitely going to be giving you a better experience. But I do think Apple did a really good job with these types of devices. And I think that's a very, very cool thing going on here. So what I'll tell you is, in my personal opinion, the iPhone 12 mini, for sure, is completely still worth buying. I think it's a very, very good device. It's not a perfect phone like I mentioned for so many years now, but I do think Apple did a really good job with this type of device, and I do think it's still completely worth buying. It's not perfect, but I do think if you want to go ahead and buy a phone, this is a very decent option. And even though it's changed a couple things this year, I think it holds up very well, in my opinion. So that pretty much covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, so let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.